Guten Abend. During the early phase of Pollocks' career, jazz had fully made the jump from socially unacceptable African American music to the very soundtrack of 1930s American culture. Though a palpable divide existed between black and white American cultures during the swing era, the country as a whole had embraced swing-style jazz music as the definitive style of popular music. Apart from being the backdrop for American entertainment during these years, jazz had transcended its purely dance music. Jazz had transcended its role as purely dance music and begun to permeate most facets of American life. Led by the likes of Duke Ellington, Benny Goodman, Glenn Miller, swing music interweaves itself into the very fabric of American life, serving as a sonic backdrop for radio commercials and carving out a prominent place in motion pictures alongside classical music. While artist Jackson Pollock's work exists in the realm of visual art, Jackson Pollock, the man, was no stranger to the sounds, rhythms, and spirit of jazz music leading into the Second World War. Despite popular opinion, evidence suggests that Pollock's relationship with jazz was not as overt as many believe. Unlike the work of the beatniks, Pollock's early work does not signify an eager embrace and incorporation of the ethos of jazz music. Though it is commonly believed that Pollock created his most famous works with jazz music spurring him on in the background, it turns out that this is not the case. Scholarly research suggests that Pollock was actually preferred to work in silence, and the direct influence of the music on his work would have taken place primarily in times of leisure between work sessions. However, Pollock's love for and frequent interaction with jazz music from the swing era is a well-known fact that is indeed significant. The strength of Pollock's relationship with jazz music is based on the introspective creativity and spontaneity of the style, as the ethos of jazz closely mirrors Pollock's driving desire to create in relation to cues external to the artist. Pollock's wife, Lee Krasner, supports the strength of Pollock's connection with the spirit of jazz in stating, quote, "He thought it was the only other really creative thing happening in this country," end quote. The common practice of multiple performers performing and or recording the same song while placing their own individualized spin on the tune places the focus on creativity in jazz front and center, and instantly separates the style from anything else that was happening musically in the Western world. Perhaps this uniquely spontaneous and reactive spirit of what drew Pollock so strongly to jazz, as its resemblance to the mindset in creating works such as Ihrem is difficult to ignore. Pollock's personal record collection further corroborates the strong relationship with jazz that is packed full of records by those considered to be the greats of jazz in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. While no less than 50 individual artists of consequence appear on the list of 45 RPM records in his collection, artists such as Duke Ellington, Jack Teagarden, Billie Holiday, Jelly Roll Morton, and the incomparable Louis Armstrong appear repeatedly throughout this list. Furthermore, Cole Porter's composition, Night and Day, appears on this list several times over, albeit performed by different artists. While other songs appear more than once, the frequency with which this particular song appears in his collection suggests a relationship that extends well beyond chance. It stands to reason that this particular song bears some heightened significance to Pollock and was a tune that was a frequent part of his personal listening habits. I have chosen to perform Night and Day in the style of vocalist Billie Holiday, the vocalist whose name appears most frequently on Pollock's list of jazz recordings. I'll be joined by 3 musicians, all of Germany. I'll be joined by Jonas Tim on piano, Paul Blauner on bass, Max Stadfeld on the drums. Without further ado, we present to you Cole Porter's Night and Day.